Alongside the new cryptids and public events, the next major update once in a blue moon is introducing a series of small daily quests which come with their own unique rewards. These Costa Business daily quests aren't repeatable, so you can only do them once, which is probably a good thing. Each isn't particularly exciting, but they are very easy to do, with some of the rewards being pretty good for what is really just a small addition alongside the new events. In today's video we're running through each of these quests quickly, and I'll be showing what each reward is that you can get. But completing all 7 of these dailies will also unlock an additional side quest, which does come with some other prerequisites. Spoilers ahead, but the dailies and the side quests do add some additional lore for existing characters. Let's take a closer look. Kicking things off with the 7 Costa Business dailies. If you played through the Brotherhood of Steel quest lines or completed Running Shotgun, then you probably met the majority of these characters before. Each of these characters isn't working to their full potential, and Head of Operations Vinny Costa wants you to figure out what's bothering them and fix it for him, rewarding you on completion with a new reward unique to each character. Up first is the caravan guard Kieran Kennedy. Untalkative and moody prior to his daily quest, he's more so than normal, so Vinny wants you to figure out what's bothering his old associate. And yeah, it's an interesting detail that the two of them apparently knew each other prior to working for the Blue Ridge Caravan Company. But Kieran wants you to find some truck toys at Nuka-World on tour to send to his adopted children who are living outside of Appalachia. It's a fetch and collect, so grab 5 of these and head back, and then you can report to Vinny to collect a reward. Unsurprisingly, from this particular quest you get a new flawed decor camp item, the Blue Ridge toy truck. Next we have Eugenie. She wants you to retrieve a private letter from her friend, and although it's not necessary, the player can actually read her mail against her wishes. Regardless of whether the letter is read, she will reveal that she's moved out and actually uses her own connections for supplies now, and is actually keeping it a secret from Vinny. You can give her advice on what to do next, and actually tell Vinny about Eugenie's secret, which does lead to a future adjustment of her pay apparently. Your reward this time is the Blue Ridge themed stash box, and yeah, it looks pretty good, particularly if you're making a Blue Ridge themed camp. Formerly a self-appointed director of morale enhancement, Rudy Fernandez is feeling pretty distracted. He wants some ingredients to cook up a stew from his past, but of course he needs you to get them for him. Head over to the general steakhouse and collect what he needs, and optionally sample what he's actually made. You can mention Esme's notorious stew, which I'm sure many of us actually love to burn. Heading back to Vinny, and your reward this time is the Blue Ridge sleeping bag. But additionally, Rudy will also sell a new item now, Rudy's canned pozole, which comes with a +2 to charisma and 1 to luck. But here's all the effects though if you wanted to see. Another caravan guard, Libby has probably my favourite reward of the bunch, the Blue Ridge Guardsman paint for combat armour. Her issue? She can't shoot straight because her favourite gun has been damaged and needs you to collect some special parts from a drop-off location. Her contact won't be welcome at the Blue Ridge outpost apparently, which is actually something you can mention to Vinny at the end. As mentioned, you'll be getting a new paint set for combat armour, and it also can be applied to the combat armour helmet. Bartender Herschel is a bit of an odd one. Outside of these quests, he will share odd rumours with the player. The Brotherhood of Steel is actually a travelling theatre troupe, Ares is an alien stuck on Earth, and everyone is actually just in a memory lounger simulation in New Jersey. And yeah, I quite like that last one, but his fetch and collect is odd too. He isn't Vinny's biggest fan.
Vinny, standards? I'm surprised he even knows the word between you and me.
And the brass tacks is he has a writer's block, and he wants you to hunt down the literature of a ghost, Jacques, located at Torrance House. They are quite amusing, and by the time you found the last one, it's revealed that Jacques was simply a butler protectoron following around a character called Stryker, writing insulting poems about him. Fed up with it, Stryker ended up destroying the robot, letting Derek know on the final note. Herschel finds it all very funny, and agrees to get back to work. For your trouble, the Blue Ridge Scout helmet, which is a fireman's helmet with a new thematic paint job. A new character, Vera, can be met in the new event safe and sound, and like the others, she's having some problems. In her case, making multiple mistakes will upset Vinny. She's been stalling on replying to a letter from her dad, as she needs some photos from around Appalachia, and of course that's where you come in, and you'll need a camera for this one, not just photo mode. You can grab a broken camera from a bag inside one of the buildings in the rest stop. I'm not sure if these locations alternate, but for me it was just taking photos of the bed and breakfast sign, Cowspot's Creamery sign, and Ferris wheel at the Tyler County Fairgrounds. Wrapping that up, Patcher rewards you with Vera's outfit, the farmhand. Last but not least, we have Carver Timmerman. This one is possibly the most interesting backstory and will actually lead into the bonus side quest, which we'll touch on in a moment. Carver isn't very confident and is having trouble focusing on the job at hand. He was too young to remember his childhood, but he lived in nearby Lewisburg and wants to know more about his dad who didn't make it out. So, on a quest to help him learn more, you head over to Lewisburg and his parents' old house, and it transpires that Greg actually headed into Burning Mine to look for supplies, and investigating we discover his body in one of the shafts. Reading through the note, we learn his leg was crushed and he actually became stuck. In his last note, Greg mentions that Carver's mother Deb had something going on with her Van Lowe friend, and wishes them well, hoping they can carve out a better life. This is actually a reference to Shelley Van Lowe, owner of the Van Lowe taxidermy, and sister of Calvin, the focus of the Imposter Sheepsquatch questline. Nearer the end, Greg mentions an heirloom lighter, and you can investigate the area to pick this up too, but the contents of the letter and how much you want to reveal to Carver is left up to you once he returned. There will be a charisma speech option once the update has actually gone live, but for now choosing either of the two responses will get the same response from Carver. Thankful for learning more, you can leave Carver for the moment, deciding whether to part with the heirloom lighter from the mine. Completing this daily rewards the player with the trucker outfit, which is actually worn by the new NPC Luca Costa. Now for that bonus side quest. If you've completed all 7 Costa Business dailies, and also completed the quest Lying Low and Out of the Blue, then you will immediately get a new quest pop up, directing you to the train car just outside the front of the Blue Ridge outpost. As it turns out, even Ares can have a bad day, as Protocal Adonais begins with a chat with Ares, who is clearly not his usual self. He's been keeping tabs on you throughout the daily quests, and figures your proficiency for fetch and collect makes you the perfect candidate to help. A personal mission, you need to track down 6 holotapes in reverse order for Ares. Forewarning, this section does contain spoilers pertaining to the identity of Ares, which I'm sure for a lot of players won't be much of a surprise at this point. But the first is located at Scoot's cabin, and will actually start playing as soon as you discover it.
So why come out here, old boy? What's this truth you were so certain of?
Ares clearly took great interest in what Scoot had discovered, and by his tone definitely seemed to have known him pretty well. The second is located at the Lost Home, and it sounds like Ares and Eugenie moved through here on a caravan run. The final holotapes are all a bit different, as Ares cannot be heard on any of them, but skipping ahead to the final holotape located in the hidden basement of the Van Lowe taxidermy, it's all become pretty clear. So yeah, this is precise confirmation that Ares is of course Calvin Van Lowe. Probably not the greatest surprise for most, but those last holotapes do provide an account of the immediate aftermath of the attack for Calvin and coming to terms with his injuries. They're also a pretty good listen, so I would recommend taking the time if you are interested in this character. Returning to Calvin in the present, you have the option to tell him you figured it out, and naturally you also have other options. And some of these responses are quite funny.
Finally, someone with the guts to say it.
It's interesting that he knows Homer apparently too.
What do you know about Homer? Has he been talking to you too? Wait, you're not baiting me on this. Nice try.
But once you pick the right option, he gives you a new holotape and a decision to make. So let's give that a listen.
Carver, it's Ares. Look, I know we've had some weird, encounters. I mean, even weird by my standards. There's something about me, about us, that I want to tell you. That you and your family deserves to know. My name is Calvin Van Lowe. I'm the brother of your mom, Shelley. I know she ain't your birth mom, but that still makes you family.
So, understandably triggering straight after Carver's daily, you have the option to reveal to him the familial connection between himself and Ares. Going inside to listen to it, you can ask him afterwards how he feels, before Ares interrupts you both with a grand entrance. Completing Protocol Adonais rewards you with a plan for the Sheepsquatch poster, which is pretty fitting, and you can actually find a discarded letter in the office too upstairs, which is very interesting. A bit of foreshadowing considering what we just learned, but Ares' sudden interest in Carver didn't go unnoticed, but it also mentions to say hi to Deb and Shelley, meaning that both are probably still alive somewhere. So perhaps we'll get a larger family reunion later down the line, with Shelley previously unsure of Calvin's ultimate fate. You do get an update on this actually though, as you can return to Ares after completing the quest for some new speech options. He explains he can't face Shelley in person yet, but he has left a letter for her with Carver to pass on. Additionally, you can ask for an explanation of what Protocol Adonais actually means, and some clarity on the imposter Sheepsquatch and the Bish Company. One of the most interesting nuggets were, he's eaten multiple Sheepsquatches since, and he believes that somewhere, the imposter Sheepsquatch is reproducing. But on that bombshell, we've reached the end of today's video. Overall, I think these dailies and the added lore which I only skated over for this video are a pretty good addition. The Costa dailies are just fetch and collect at heart, giving you some unique plans and outfits at the cost of doing each only once. Personally, I like the conclusion you get to every storyline and the added lore that came with that. But what do you think? Did any of these rewards stick out to you? And were you happy to see some storylines continued, even in a small way? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this particular video, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. We post a variety of Fallout 76 content, so turning on the bell icon is definitely the best way to stay up to date. Assuming there aren't any more major changes, this will likely be the last PTS video for now, but we have some more lore videos and the next camp showcase coming up soon. With that said, I'm off. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.